got to catch what's going on here, and got to catch the food.
I will caucus. I have not decided on a candidate at this point. I think we have a lot of good choices. My biggest concern would be to change administrations.
I wish that people really think beyond the headlines, beyond the social media posts, and really think critically on the issues. And number two, I hope they vote.
Republican presidential hopefuls have been trying to charm Hawkeye voters at the Iowa State Fair. Iowa is seen as a testing ground for candidates and their vote-gaining abilities to try and win over early support. Our Major Garrett is at the fairgrounds where he's been speaking with presidential candidates and voters in the Hawkeye State. I hope he's also been eating some delicious fried foods there in my home state of Iowa. So, Major, I know that you spoke with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. I'm going to play for our viewers what she told you in response to the charges against Trump and how they're being viewed in Iowa.
I think Iowans are becoming very desensitized to all of these indictments. And I do my county tours, I do town halls at those county tours. And a lot of Iowans are coming back and they're like, what's the deal? They're saying there's one system of justice for President Trump and there's another system of justice for Joe Biden. So they see a disparity there. And so they have gotten to a point now where all they see is the judicial system going after President Trump.
So, Major, how are we seeing the indictments play out among voters when you're talking to people there?
So, look, Senator Ernst is capturing something that I encountered all day here yesterday at the Iowa State Fair, and that is a default position of sympathy for former President Trump, that he's being hounded by Democratic investigations. But when I asked a lot of voters, and we talked all to Republicans who intend to caucus or planning to caucus in January, they told us, yes, I feel sympathy, Democrats are after Trump. And I said, okay, but do you think there's anything about his underlying conduct that brought any of this on? And they almost to a person would pause and say, yeah, probably. And I would say, does that bother you? And they would say, yes, that's one of the reasons I'm wrestling with what my choices might be in the January caucuses. What is important in this point right now in Iowa and all the other early states, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, is that Republicans are trying to come up with the answer to this very big question. Is the party better off with or without former President Trump? And if it's better off without him, who is the person best able to win for Republicans in 2024? They're nowhere near coming up with that answer to either of those questions, but they're wrestling with it. Trump is leading here by a lot, far and away. He's leading nationally, far and away. So there's that default position of sympathy to Trump and also a preference for him. But is that preference going to manifest itself in actual voting behavior come January? That is the question that Trump can't answer, and none of his rivals here talking to voters face-to-face can answer. Those people who are Republicans not named Trump are hoping that they can change that dynamic, can somehow persuade Republicans that the party is better off without Trump. That hasn't happened yet, but the voters we talk to here are at least open to that, and some have already made up their minds, like, yeah, I'm done with Trump. So we'll see.
Well, Major, I know how Iowans really take seriously the responsibility that they have being the first and really in getting to meet these candidates face to face and pose questions to them. Are there any talking points that any of these candidates are offering up that are resonating with Iowa voters?
Absolutely. Biden is bad, the economy is not where it ought to be, and immigration is a huge issue. I would say those are the three things you hear every single stump speech from every Republican coming through here. Biden's policies are bad. There are those who will lean more aggressively into the idea that Biden himself or the family members around him are somehow corrupt. But Biden economics is something Republicans want to speak about and argue about. They're eager to take on the president on his economic track record. And then immigration, whether it's on TV ads or every stump speech, there's a reference to not only securing the border, combating fentanyl and the devastating impact it's having not only here in Iowa but elsewhere, and taking on the drug cartels. I just don't think you can have a conversation with someone who's running for the Republican presidential nomination without those three topics coming up. I would say right after that is education, with an emphasis on charter schools, homeschooling, alternatives to public education. But those three, Biden as a person and a president, Biden economic agenda, and immigration.
Major, Trump and DeSantis are the two names that have been floated the most, or at least those are the two that are leading the polls. But also in Iowa, that's where we hear sometimes some of these candidates start to break away from the pack. Are you seeing that happening in Iowa at all at this point?
Not yet, not yet. But I would say there are a couple of candidates who are gaining some traction. And traction is kind of a notion. It's a sense of things. Doesn't show up in the polls. But yesterday, for example, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott was walking all around the Midway. Crowds followed him. People were very eager to talk to him. In his conversation with the governor here, Kim Reynolds, a very large crowd formed. Everywhere he went, he was received well. The interactions were relaxed and enjoyable for him and for the people who were here at the fair. That's a good sign. Doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it's a good sign. I've also heard a lot of conversations about someone that I guarantee you, Anna, 4 months ago, nobody would have talked about. Vivek Ramaswamy. He's making some inroads here as well.
Very interesting. All right, Major, we're going to continue checking in with you throughout the day. Thank you.